Good morning, kindergartners. I'm Mr. Murphy. I'm Mrs. Murphy's husband. How are you guys doing today? I understand you guys are learning about the ocean and things that live in the ocean and how we need to take care of it. So I thought that I'd share some of my shells with you. Mrs. Murphy and I love to go shelling. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, we haven't been able to go in several months, but we have collected quite a few shells over the years. So we're just going to show you a few of those that we have here on the table. So I'll start with one that many of you probably have heard about many times, and you probably talk about going to find, and that is a sand dollar. So this is what a sand dollar looks like. We find them all the time. Sometimes we find them very big, and sometimes we find them very small. See that one right there? They lay on the bottom flat. Sometimes they wash up on the shore. And these are dead. We only take the dead ones. We don't take the live ones. How you can tell if you ever go to the beach with your family, the live ones are brown and they have a little hair on them, and that's how they move. And these are usually washed out in white by the time they're dead and washed up on the beach, and then you're able to pick them up. Another one of our favorite shells is this one right here, and this was called a cone. And there are two types. One is called an alphabet cone, and one is called the Florida cone. You see the colors? This one here is a darker one, and this one's kind of yellow. But they're both the same kind. They're called cones. Here's what the tops look like. This is one of our favorite ones, and a little bit harder to find. This one is called a spiny jewel box. You have any idea why it's called spiny? That's right. If you said that it has spines or thorns on the top, you were right. See these little things sticking up? Sometimes they're very, very long and are very sharp. Spiny jewel box. It's actually in the oyster family. Now, one of my favorite shells that's really easy to find if you go to any of the beaches around here is called a lightning whelk. What's really fun about lightning whelks is that they're a very large family of shells. So we're going to talk about several different kinds that we have here. We'll talk about one of our favorites, and this is called a chocolate lightning whelk, or a chocolate whelk. That's the back of it, and here's the inside. Isn't it very pretty? See all the colors? Now, this is also a chocolate whelk. This is a bigger one and an older one. And you can see right here, it got broken at some point and started regenerating its tail. And this one is an albino lightning whelk. I only have a few of these. These are pretty hard to find. These are considered pretty rare to find a true white one. Now, the lightning whelk also, if you'll notice, these whelks all have their valves on the right-hand side. Do you see that? The hollow points, the hollow parts over here. Well, these are left-handed. They're on the other side, and these happen to be called knobbed whelks. Now, you're not here to feel them, but there's a big difference in these. This one is very light. This one is a different species. It's thicker. See the thickness on the edge there? This one came, I know this one came out of the east side of the state, up near St. Augustine. And this one was probably 3 times heavier than this one. There's also another one right here. This is also one of the channeled whelks. It's very heavy. This probably weighs 2 or 3 pounds. It's very pretty. Now, Mrs. Murphy actually found this whelk right here. She found this one, or is this the one I found?
This one I found.
Mrs. Murphy found this one over on the beach at Paso Grill, which is a part of St. Pete Beach. See how big it is compared to my hand? Now, one of the things that you have to think about when you're going to go shelling is protecting yourself. You always want to wear some kind of shoes if you get into the water, because there are broken shells in the water and sometimes they hurt your feet. So you want to wear water shoes or Crocs or sandals. And then also when I go shelling sometimes, because I sometimes have to dig in shell piles to find the good shells, I have to wear rubber gloves to protect my fingers so they don't get cut or they don't get dried out or anything. Sometimes they'll start bleeding. So these are rubber gloves that you can buy at any of the stores around here. And then we also like to take nets. Sometimes you just find shells on the beach and you just pick them up with your hands. Sometimes the water is moving a lot. And when the water is moving and the waves are coming in, it's hard to grab the shells fast enough. So we use a little dip net like this one. You can get one kind of like this one at Walmart. This is an expensive one. And then each of us, when we go, we take what we call a shell rake. You can order these online and we are able to pull out lots of shells with these.